Hello everyone and welcome to this video lesson where we will be talking about capacity. We will be understanding what capacity means and how we convert between different measurements. Okay, so firstly, let's talk about what capacity is. Capacity relates to the amount of things something can hold. So for example, the coach going from London to Brighton can carry 80 passengers. Therefore, the coach has a capacity of 80 people. The pencil case can hold 30 pens. The capacity of the pencil case is 30 pens. And the football stadium has 20,000 seats. Therefore, the capacity of the football stadium is 20,000. Okay, so this is what capacity means. How many things can something hold? But when it comes to maths, particularly the 11 plus and SATs, we often speak about capacity with relation to liquid in containers, okay? So for that reason, for this lesson, we will be talking more about liquid capacity. And therefore, we will be using two units of measurement. We will be using milliliters, mm, and liters. Okay, so first thing to understand is there are 1,000 milliliters in a liter, okay? So 1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter. All right, so this question, now, if you've watched the previous videos based on measurement, you'll recognize this sort of question. It says, which of the following is most likely to have a capacity of 1.5 liters? Okay, let's not answer that just yet. Have a look at the question. Maybe you can come up with an answer in your head, but I won't go through it just yet because we're going to talk about how we can raise our awareness of measurement in order to answer questions like these. So on the screen, we've got 4 items. We've got a spoon, a carton of Ribena, a bottle of Coke, and a bottle of water. Now, I do apologize. These the sizes of these items are not in proportion. There's no ratio at all. Okay, so but we know what a teaspoon looks like in real life. Hopefully, you can remember or you've seen a carton like this before. It's very similar to a milk carton you might get. This bottle of Coke is one of the ones that you can hold and sort of walk around with and drink from the bottle. And this is one of the larger bottles of water. Okay, so let's talk about how much capacity each of these objects has, and that's going to help raise our awareness. Okay, so starting with this spoon, this teaspoon can hold about 1 to 5 milliliters of liquid water. Okay, now with that in mind, how much liquid do you think this carton can hold? How much Ribena do you think is inside this carton? Now, have a guess. Don't worry if you're not correct, because we're improving our awareness. It doesn't matter if you're correct right now, okay? But it might be fun to give it a go. So I'm going to show you the answer in 5 seconds. What do you reckon? How much Ribena is in this carton? The answer is 250 milliliters, okay? Then we've got this bottle of Coke. Now, this bottle of Coke, in real life, is quite a bit taller than this carton. It's like I said, it's one of the ones that you can hold and you see people walking around with and they can drink from it. Rather than those really big bottles, it's a smaller bottle, but it's bigger than the carton. So how much Coke might be inside? How many milliliters or liters might be inside? What do you think? 3, 2, 1. The answer is 500 milliliters. And finally, we've got this bottle of water, and the answer is already on the screen, 1 liter. But how many milliliters is that? Do you remember from the last page, how many milliliters is the same as 1 liter? The answer is 1,000 milliliters. So far, all we've done is talk about our awareness of measurement, made some predictions and some estimations, and these are good go-to objects. So for example, if you're ever asked how much, if you're ever asked that question, let me remind you of the question we looked at a minute ago. Which of the following is most likely to have a capacity of 1.5 liters? Well, now that we know that this big bottle of water has 1 liter, we want to be thinking about maybe just a little bit more than this big bottle of water. So if we look at this question, we know a teaspoon is a lot less than that big bottle of water. And also, we know the measurement of a teaspoon, okay? The carton of milk is similar to the carton of Ribena. Then we've got a bucket and a bathtub. Okay, so how are we going to decide between these two? Which of these is most likely to be 1.5 liters? Well, think about a big bottle of water, like that, okay? Now, we know that's 1 liter. 1.5 of them would be 1.5 liters, okay? 1.5 bottles of water is 1.5 liters. So if we emptied 1.5 liters of water into a bucket or a bathtub, which one is most likely to fill up? Of course, the answer would be a bucket. Yeah. So the answer to that question is a bucket. A bathtub will have a much larger capacity. Okay. So let's move on slightly. Now, again, if you've seen the previous measurement videos, you will be very familiar with this converting diagram table graph thing on the screen. Okay, it looks tricky, it looks daunting at first. It's not. Let me show you. So on the left-hand side here, we've got milliliters. On the right-hand side, we've got liters. Okay, if we want to go from milliliters to liters, if we're changing from milliliters to liters, we look at the top of this table because it says milliliter, arrow going to liter. If we look at the bottom, the arrow is going the other way, which suggests liter to milliliter. So if we're trying to convert from liter to milliliter, we want to look at the bottom of the table. If we look at the top of the table, we need to divide by 1,000 because there are 1,000 milliliters in a liter. And if we look at the bottom of the table, we need to multiply by 1,000. So let's try it. We've got this can of cola on the screen, and we can see that it says it has 330 milliliters. Okay, so we know the milliliters, which means I want to convert from milliliters to liters. Okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to write 330 inside this place value table, 330. Now I'm going from milliliters to liters. So I look at this table, ml, milliliters, to liters. I'm looking at the top bit, not the bottom bit. The bottom bit is liters to milliliters. So I'm looking at the top of this table here, which means I need to divide by 1,000. Now, when we divide, we move our digits to the right. And also this arrow is telling us we need to go to the right. We're moving our digits to the right, okay? So we move the digits to the right, but how many times? We move them 3 times because 1,000 has 3 zeros, okay? So let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Remember that decimal point place is not a place that we can move numbers into. 1, 2, 3. So it doesn't count. And then we've got 1, 2, 3. And then I've converted. The answer is 0.330. We don't need to say that last zero, do we? So 0.33. So 0.33. Now, it's always good to check your answer, because if you're not correct, then you can have a look and see what it is you've done wrong and fix it. Okay, so let me check my answer. Alexa, how many liters is the same as 330 milliliters?
330 milliliters is 0.33 liters.
There we go. 0.33 or 0.33 means the same thing. Okay, so I have converted between milliliters and liters, and now it's your turn. On the screen, we have this larger carton of Tropicana apple juice, and it tells us that in liters, there is 1.7 liters, okay? You need to convert between from liters to milliliters, okay? So remember how we do that. Look at the table. Do we use the top side or do we use the bottom side? We're going from liters to milliliters. Give that a go. And once you've done that, as usual, there will be a worksheet in the description of this video, okay, which is going to challenge your awareness of measurement and give you some measurements to convert as well. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.